The remains of Korean war dead held for decades in North Korea have finally come back to U.S. soil. They're in Hawaii tonight. Vice President Mike Pence was on hand to receive the remains. The historic event finished just a few minutes ago. Pete Hegseth co-hosts Fox and Friends on the weekend, of course, and he joins us tonight from Hawaii. Hey, Pete.
Hey, Tucker. Thanks for having me.
How is it?
It was, I got to tell you, being in that hangar, it was an emotional experience. First of all, before it even started, very apropos, the song Amazing Grace played. Amazing Grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. I once was lost, but now I'm found. These young men who went to fight a war at the beginning of the Cold War for our country, finally returning home. And I was also struck by the individual attention given to every flag-dropped container. Each one of these individual Americans, Tucker, in our country, we ask individual patriots to sign up and go fight for our freedoms that we have here, unlike communist and collectivist societies that send waves of men with no care for what happens next. The fact that 65 years later, this kind of attention is given, that we honor their sacrifice, the vice president there to give the keynote address, was heartening to me as a veteran myself who would hope that if I was lost on the battlefield, any president in the future would come find me. But a big win for America today and a testament, I think, to President Trump's commitment to the right outcome on the Korean Peninsula.
Pete, is there any other country that tries as hard as the U.S. does over as many years as the U.S. does to get its war dead home? Absolutely not.
Leave no man behind is an extreme, maybe Israel, in the modern Israel, but over the centuries of our country, no country has valued life and then valued the remains and the connection to that sacrifice more than the United States of America. No one has poured more soil on foreign countries for our own freedom and the freedom of others to defeat Nazis and communists and stand up to rogue regimes. And when we do so, we make a promise to that soldier, that Marine, that airman, that sailor, and that family and the community that we will do everything to bring them home alive, or in this case, missing in action, or a prisoner of war or deceased. Something like this is a testament to future generations, that our country will honor the promise that we made to you. And there's a lot of personal stories. One in particular, Tucker, First Lieutenant Frank Salazar volunteered to go to Korea in 1952. He was killed on New Year's Eve of 1952 when his P-51 was shot down by ground fire. Before he left, he gave a hug to his 4-year-old girl, Diane Brown. She was in that hangar. It's right over my shoulder today. She's been looking for her father for over 60 years. He may be returned today, or at least some of his comrades. A powerful testament to this great country.
That's a tearjerker. Pete Hegseth in Hawaii. Thanks very much for that.
Thanks, Tucker.